1.
Hi, traders. Dale Pinkard, Mike Venezia with you today, Tuesday, our midweek report on what we're seeing. Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good morning, Coach. How are you? I apologize for being late to you and everybody else.
It's okay. So I think this is important. So I know you spend your weekends at the track, and I'm going to ask you about that. And people say, Dale, get a life. I spend my weekends thinking about market narratives. And something that really struck home to me, especially with all the great inflation news that we've gotten over the last 6-8 months, a lot of weak economic indicators, but more than anything else, how inflation has come down rapidly. So then I look at the 10-year yield chart and I go, well, God, with all that great news, why aren't yields down here? Why are they still holding a weekly breakout? And I think the market's wrong-footed. I don't think we're going to see, a lot of people were talking 3%, 2.5%. I think the market's wrong-footed about their expectations for rates because they're focused on the Fed instead of the market. And if you looked at this chart, Mike, would you short it?
No.
Okay, pretty bullish looking. So higher yields coming. The count is actually about 4.9% by year end. So I'm not saying it's going to, cause a crash or anything, but you could see how some markets were wrong-footed. We had this rally in metals when they thought after the Fed, and look, it's given it all back.
It hurt. It's my biggest loss in a long time.
Okay, so
not that bad actually.
I've been negative on it. And I told you last week I'm looking for lower levels. People think that I should be put in a straitjacket. I'm looking for 1800 down here. Okay, and the main reason is something else that the market got wrong as far as yields are concerned. For weeks, I was saying we'd have one more dramatic sell-off in the dollar, flush it out under the big round number of par. That's exactly what happened 2 weeks ago.
It was.
And yeah, and then I said, we negate the breakout. You got to be long the dollar.
That's correct. And
okay,
that was a contentious discussion as well. Go back to the
contrarian. I mean, people were talking 85. They're talking 95.
They were
much lower levels.
Oh, that's right. 100%.
So I think there's plenty left in it. You're not late. Yeah, I'm thinking before it's over, we're up here at 108. 108. So maybe we're completing the first wave by pullbacks in the dollar. Because the dollar rallying to 108 is how you get 1800 gold and $21 to $20 silver again. And probably not get real excited about WTI if we're going to be squeezed by rates. This still could have just been a bear market rally. And then the indexes. Are we going to make one more new high? If we do, it diverges. Long in the tooth. Definitely the strength. But if I'm right about the dollar, eventually, I think the market will correct. Dollar's a wrecking ball. So it's wrecking the metals today. It's wrecking commodity markets. But really, Mike, it hasn't wrecked averages. It hasn't wrecked many stocks besides maybe Microsoft last week. So I thought I would ask you about something that you've talked about briefly. And, I'm sitting flipping the channels Saturday and Sarasota, Sarasota Springs comes up and Saratoga. And I'm thinking, I bet Mike is there. That's his home track.
I had a cigar the size of my arm that day when you called me.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right. Anyway, I know because you've told me you did a lot of off-track betting. And, I think it'd be interesting to viewers to learn what you learned and how it prepared you for trading, starting off handicapping races and then eventually becoming an owner of racehorses, if that gave you a different perspective.
No, it gave me perspective early on because the only time I was allowed to go to the racetrack was on Friday afternoon after school. If I ran over there with my grandfather or my dad, and my dad would point me at the check cashing line, and everybody would be the longest line in the place. Even in a one-horse race, it was in the check cashing line, and you had everybody from every walks of life. And I'm going back a long time, by the way. I'm going back freaking 35 years before PayPal was even a thought of.
Right.
So, and then it'd be online, and then it would be the guys with the freaking construction hats, the people with the Social Security that were with the stroller, the couple of kids that were blowing everything they made, like John Travolta, in the next half an hour after they got it. So I learned about money management. I learned about momentum. I learned about luck. I learned about patience. I learned about opportunity.
Okay, first of all, where do you find momentum in a horse race? Is it the betting that's coming in?
Jockeys. Jockeys tend to stay high. LeBron James could score 60, and he doesn't score 60 in every night.
Yeah.
But there are nights when he scores 60. So would you consider that momentum?
Yeah, I consider having a talented guy to ride the horse.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's what helps it. That's what helps momentum.
So a lot of people do bet the jockey. How would you compare that to the market, betting on a CEO?
No, well, the old days, it's like betting a jockey. You'd be betting on the market maker, the guy that would be an individual, maybe on the Long Island Railroad with me, that went to his office and says, I'm making market in IBM today. He had that responsibility. Okay. So it was easier to read the hands back then. But now you just have to adapt to everybody else. You have to understand that, just like horse racing, there are algorithms that are built to take care of odds discrepancies. Maybe a horse shouldn't be 5-1 when really he should be 8-1. With that being said, the horse might not win, but over time, those algorithms, much like today, take advantage of those price discrepancies. Now, I learned that I grew. I learned to change. You have to change or adapt, or else you're going to be, still riding in the back of the carts with it. But the thing is, it wasn't like it's not a prerequisite. It's not a prerequisite. I just learned a little bit earlier, to cut your losses, not go there with my full account and be broke by the 9th race. You need a little capital, like they say in poker. If you don't have a chip, you don't have a chair. You need capital. So I know everybody tends to, I'm going to win. Also momentum. If you lose 6 races in a row, don't triple down and say I'm due to win the 7th. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah, and people do that in the market.
Oh, the 100%.
Same thing.
And they do it. And by the way, they do it in sports. If the Philadelphia, the freaking Dallas Cowboys win 7 games in a row, there are more people betting that they're going to lose the 8th and win the 7th. Trust me. And that over time hurts you. So it's a personal story that I'm doing. But
there are terms that are really horse terms that have filtered into the lexicon of Wall Street, and I've heard you use it. Best of breed.
A lot do. A lot.
Best of breed. Best of breed when you were, Go ahead.
This is the situation. If you buy a good horse that has good breeding, obviously it's not guaranteed to anything. It's an animal, much like it's a stock. But much like we say, know what you buy. If the horse doesn't wind up winning, or doesn't do what you want it to do in that lifespan, even if it has an off day, like an off stock, they usually come back to the best blood. Maybe you could sell it for a good profit. Maybe you could sell it for breeding. Maybe someone wants to buy a little bit cheaper off you, not take that big of a loss, and thinks that they could do better. For example, if you
better trainer.
Exactly. Maybe if you buy Apple at 100 and you sell it 120 and it dips to 115, maybe a guy like a horse thinks it's still good breeding, but maybe he has a chance to make it at 115 to go to 130. When in actuality, I did my best to bring it to 100 to 120.
Okay, so a different person could be accretive to the animal, or the other way around. If they don't know what
market conditions, whether it's going to be grass or mud. It's very analogous, Coach. It really is.
Okay, yeah, grass or mud, like the different climates that we have
Distances, a
here.
sprint, just like a
Yeah,
sprint. Some of them shoot out of the gate, and that's
yeah,
the 10 a.m. smash and grab. Some of them
okay,
do the Kentucky Derby, which may be an earnings play,
yeah,
a full day earnings play. Maybe Apple, Roku tends to play over for 2 or 3 days. No, that's the Derby, and that's
yeah.
how we always say it. It's about how you finish. It's a lot harder to finish in a 1.5 mile race than in a distance in 100 feet. So the longer the distances and the longer the plays, the longer the professionals do and make money. And that's it. Sometimes it's a smash and grab sprint, and then you might go home and be happy and move on with your day. For me, it's a marathon and it's a long day. I'm bred very well. I do have my off days, but the reason why I don't really manage my account is because I know I have a running history of a quarter century. So,
Well, I feel like I won the Triple Crown that our paths crossed, and I get to hear this. It's fascinating how how many different worlds are related and what you could learn from something that is in a different arena, but it's still about risk management, calculated risk, probabilities, everything. And that's why I guess gambling and the stock market, bring Tony Pistachio in here, are so similar, except that gamblers don't make it in the market. They don't make it gambling either. Most of them. It's probably a smaller percentage.
No, Coach, I'm sorry about it, but there are a lot of analogies and a lot of walks in life. You don't have to all of a sudden go to Del Mar to realize surfing has a lot to do with it. Card playing has a lot. Surfing, catch your own wave, know when your opportunities are. Don't get lost in something you can't handle. Cards are, poker, there are a lot of analogies in life. A lot of them.
The one I use in surfing is great surfers don't try and catch every wave. They wait for the better setups, and they go, that's the one I want.
Well, you know what, Coach?
They don't chase every wave.
That's true. At this level, at your level, our level, trader, we're making it difficult. We know what to do. Okay, we have our fundamentals. We have things down. We hope everybody gets to that level. It's just having the patience to sit there long when you really want to go into a wave. That's all. We know how to ride it. And pretty much so we know how to ride it out to its fullest. So.
Okay, well, I just now we'll get back to the markets, and I just want to leave our viewers with, I know a lot of people are interested in miners. I think we're going to a minimum of 27 in GDX with an outside shot for 25 to clean these lows out. But I'm going to begin buying here at this 27 level, which is pretty close to the lows we had in March. And now I'm going to turn the charts over to you, partner, and tell me what you're doing in this environment. Anything bothered by higher yields today that you notice?
Yeah, gold.
That's it. I mean,
gold. That's what's important to me at the moment. I'm not going to lie.
All right. Everything else is holding up okay with higher rates.
Okay. Listen, they're running to the Dow, like I said, in TGH. Let me go to some TGH here. Hold on. Am I on the screen? Do I have the screen?
Yeah. Okay, you got it. I surrendered it.
Share screen. Here's my screen. Here's TGH. Today is what? Tuesday, right?
Yeah, turnaround Tuesday.
Yes.
Do you believe in turnaround Tuesdays?
Not anymore. It's obvious. It's like people that celebrate and get drunk on New Year's. You know what I mean?
All right.
Okay.
Another
it's out there already. It's out there.
I'm such an old timer. I still see him work sometimes.
You still go out on New Year's?
No, but I do trade
You do trade
turnaround Tuesdays. I do trade some turnaround Tuesdays.
No, maybe it's working. I don't know.
All right, I'm just asking. So what were you showing this morning that was of significance?
Well, the significance, Goldman Sachs, and it's more about GFI. I got bagged in it, but they like silver, whatever. Bank of client flow trends. Read it. Tupperware, another stock, 18% to kick off. By the way, that's up like another 50% today, giving you the hot action. Lots of stock, another upgrade by Oppenheimer. By the way, JP Morgan's Kalanick warrants stocks that are so lofty. Mike Wilson from Morgan Stanley threw in the towel. When this guy throws in the towel, that might be it for a little bit. Where we are, this being the first day of August, this is where the charts were from July. If you don't go over them, you should double click.
Yeah.
Just basically setting, listen, Nick, I'm not doing anything. There's a lot, there's a lot to trade here. There are so many different sectors going up. I don't even want to show my screen because then I'm going to get shocked at what's going on, and I want to stay focused. But you have stocks like Rambus, a stock like Rambus. Hold on, I'll go to this.
That's semiconductors, right?
Rambus, how you doing? Had a $15 move today.
Wow. I hope Apple does that this week.
$15 move. And about 7. Rambus. What else is another one? Caterpillar.
That's a broken stock.
They go on Cat.
Oh my gosh.
No surprise, Oshkosh went the same thing. So they're taking up those.
That one's
Z Info, they're taking down some software stocks. That one looked okay. Well, that's over. Now, that's off the screen now. What else?
Yeah.
Western Digital. I had some DeVry short overnight. I'm not going to lie. Boom. That actually went to the high.
Yeah.
Huge ranges. NCLH. I mean, Norwegian.
Can you imagine the ranges you're getting, and the VIX is still only 14?
Right, I'm saying.
What kind of ranges are we going to have if the VIX trades near 30 again?
Look at my trades in Uber this morning.
That's over.
Look at this. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
I put it. You know what? It's on TGH. I double covered it here at the low at the 1 point. 46.59. Next trade, I sold it 48.13. 15.
Uber doesn't like higher rates because their drivers have to pay higher.
Well, gas isn't helping. Gas isn't helping either.
Car payments too.
What else am I having? Something like a TG. What is this? Get out of here. Something like a TGTX it pronounced bad earnings, bad numbers, and then it was a drug company. I was trying to buy it because it's heavily liked. I stayed away from it. Here it is. I'm not even buying.
Boy.
So
some of the best trades are the ones you don't do.
Tap Cores, I had that short overnight.
You ever notice that?
What's that?
Some of the best trades are the ones you don't do.
Well, always,
because you would have gotten nailed.
So what stocks do I like now? PDD, obviously, still going. I am long some BEKE. I like this, the China stock, building a base. I'm in it. I like it. Not even watching it because I know I'm going to sell it higher. I'm not to be obnoxious. Let's look at a stock like Pfizer. They took Pfizer from a year low. It just completely squeezed it on the open. It's yet to be determined. Listen, it doesn't. Pfizer's a big move. 35.70 to almost 37. Big move. Moves over. But there's Pfizer. If you were sharp, you can't catch them all. Another one like what's another one? Merck. Opposite. Merck looked like it was going to pull Pfizer breakout through that.
That's heavy.
Did the opposite. Merck did the opposite of Pfizer. Closed at 106, opened at the 1, basically 10.
Yeah.
You turned around in 45 minutes later, it's 105. It's probably going to break lower. Merck.
What a great short at the opening.
How'd you know? Pfizer did the opposite. Merck was breaking higher, and this was Merck. Merck was breaking, basically could have broken out at the open, did the opposite. Pfizer could have broken down and did the opposite at the open. So who knew? And they're in the same sector.
Yeah.
If you will.
Boy. What a disjointed market.
Oh, no, coach. What's another one? Let's look at some stocks.
You not only have to be right the sector, you have to be right the stock in the sector.
They're bifurcated. I finally pronounced it.
Within the same sector.
When I've been taking Tony for walks, I've been walking around saying bifurcated. I want to get it correctly. So what I'm saying is, even with certain sectors, there's bifurcation.
Does he turn around and bark at you?
No, he doesn't even. I have to yell at him.
So what are the wise guys seeing?
Let's leave it off there as earnings.
What's the Lord of options?
Well, we have some earnings tonight that's going to have some pin action. Speaking of pin action, Pins has earning tonight.
When's Apple?
I'll post the earnings later. I haven't. You know what, Coach? I'm smashing and grabbing.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going almost like hour by hour. I'm not going to lie. Because there's so much to do. I don't want to have an opinion long term. I just want to trade the price action short term. At least they're giving it to us. But let's what the big daddies are doing. Okay. FMC bearish, no interest. Deutsche DT, GFI bullish. Somebody's a believer down here in September.
They're buying.
Oh my God. That could be me though. How much did they put out there? It didn't say. But the earnings are August 17th before the open, and believe me, we'll be long until the 16th. Anyway, Etsy bearish, Sting bearish. That's a bullish. That's a shipper. Verizon bearish, Uber. So this is what I think so far after looking within, 19 minutes on a day when a lot usually goes on. I'm looking at Verizon. It has some range, but it's a dog. Uber, okay. CCL, they're just covering because of, I don't like CCL. There's nothing. AU, bearish. They're bearish in AU, but they like GFI. So there's nothing really there should be more
So even
going on.
the golds are disjointed on
You
the
know what? They are
sweeps.
bifurcated.
Yeah,
You know what? I've seen Piton come with a lot of even they're trying to get BlackBerry bullish for September. They're trying to take a squeeze in this thing here, but look at the BlackBerry. I have no interest. They're just trying to throw a shot because some of these things are working. No interest. So you know what, Coach? There's nothing really going on here. Tesla, some pins.
It is August. Happy August, bro.
Yeah,
usually
well,
is usually a pretty slow period, but I don't think it will be this August.
No, this is by the way, Riot Bear, a gut feeling. Personally, I'm having a real struggle getting myself to fire up here. This is one of our friends, CM. Riot bearish. How about coin? You have to remember when to make it when it's time instead of trying to pick that proverbial top. Where was Riot now? I was doing the heavy lifting at 19. Now it's going to break down, Riot. How about Mara? Another Bitcoin miner. Mara's even worse than Riot.
It is.
Okay, so there we go. Disney did it hold to today. All right, Disney held a little bit. I told you that 50-day, maybe at that 90 strike price would be important. Decent follow through after a one-day wonder. So Disney maybe has something. Let's look at Para. That also goes with it. So Para's taking a little rest. Not bad. Alex, who's working with us, told me keep an eye on Dish. It's having some options going off. All right, let's keep it. It is a dog. Options were going off last week, but as you can see with that volume, it had a beautiful range from 7 to basically 840. So that was the range where the options were showing. So I don't know if the options coming in here because it's a tag along play with Disney or Para, but we'll keep an eye on it. It's a barn burner. It could have that reversion to the mean as something like a Microsoft comes in or Apple, but what I said, it's going to take some while for that to matriculate if you want. So new share. Let's go to TGH. Do we have any questions as we leave off? And the answer is, I got 14 million screens open. GPN, Hughes. There's Helene about the 30-year. Coach, you probably want to talk about, have something to say about that finally?
Yeah, well, that's what I was showing.
Exactly. Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean about how you thought it was going to continue to go higher after it falls. Yeah. So, and by the way, just let me bring up a point here. A big point is that Helene brought it up. And for those that are kind of that maybe not be familiar with her, Coach, I posted something that Helene posted, and Helene, a multiple guest at TGH here, high opinions go with high opinions, and Helene, believe me, has 200,000 followers and is a best of breed. So I'm posting something about the 30-year. Coach was posting something about the 30-year. Maybe you have 3 boomers or Generation Xers that are posting something about the 30-year. Certainly, I'm not sure. I'm not. Short of bringing you out what's moving, Tupperware, Carvana, Uber. But from a day trading standpoint or from a price action standpoint, we give it to you. But also, Coach, myself, and Helene pointed out something maybe a little bit more going on a macro level, which is the 30-year. So,
and it'll be a headwind.
It certainly, I'm going to tell you. We'll see. It's certainly not taking Caterpillar going up like this is not what you want to see. I don't know. We're just going to trade price action and see how the end of the week happens. It is what only Tuesday. My God.
Yeah.
So a lot has to come out throughout the week. I posted the economic calendar. Of course, I'll post the earnings later. But we gave a good reason for you to have an opinion about the market either way, and we're posting stocks that have price action range and volume in TGH that you could be trading regardless.
And you shouldn't have been long miners if you were listening to me. Okay. Yeah. And be patient and let it come to you now. Do you know Michael Guyed?
No, I was asked about that. Why? What? Where's that name come from?
Oh, he's got about 700,000 followers.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do know him.
Okay.
I took him off because he's kind of is he a doomsday guy?
No. But
no, I know him.
Yeah.
He just got flooded with so much personal information that I kind of didn't watch it as much. But no, I know.
Anyway, He invited me to be on his Twitter Spaces during our regular time Thursday. So we could change it to Friday if that would be okay. You and me.
Oh no, Coach, that would be a without being dramatic. That's an honor. Yeah.
Okay, I figured it'd give us some
Well,
good
we have. Well, they'll be
visibility.
better because we market it properly.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that's a mark. You can't, that's the biggest guest we've ever got. No offense to anybody else, by 2 or 3. So we have to.
But
step up.
he's inviting me to his thing
Yeah,
at
no, I
Twitter
got you. I
Spaces.
got you.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
okay.
However,
So
we have to handle that.
All right, so we'll make the adjustment, and remember, everyone, a lot of stuff out there besides earnings. We have the BOE Thursday. We have the NFP Friday. Fasten your seatbelts. August is, not going to be a calm, lazy summer. It's going to be as extreme as the weather.
And for those that missed,
my call.
It is. For those that missed, here's I posted on Mondays. Here's the calendar of the week ahead. This is your treasure map. It's your treasure map. It's up
It's
to
your
you if you want to go
landmine
left.
map
What's
too.
that?
It's your landmine map too.
Well, I use it. I see it as a treasure map.
Well, I see the glass half empty.
Oh, I think it half full.
I'm
This
so
is kidding me.
positive.
Look at this,
Yeah.
Coach.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
who do we have after? We have AMD, Devon, and Starbucks. Pin interest, MicroStrategy, the big daddy for crypto. Solar Edge, the big arguably besides EMPH, the best of breed solar. PXD, arguably the best of breed natural resource gas play.
I'll be interested in Amazon because it looks heavy to me.
Oh, I don't know.
That's Thursday.
Etsy.
Nothing. Cameco will be interesting. It's been railing with.
It still is,
uranium.
Coach, and it's been taking all the so intelligent, and it's been taking all the Optus, CCJ.
Yeah.
It's taking all the. It's been a behemoth, and it's been taking probably the top 10 or the top 10% of my option feed, the past month and a half, 2 months.
Uranium, man. Uranium. I think we just opened a new nuke plant here in the U.S.
There's Starbucks tonight. There's the Starbucks daily. I mean, the part of the Dow, I believe the Dow's freaking flying. They want no part of it. CVS ran up. He was taking calls. Now that has numbers tomorrow morning. Huge option flow, but is it priced in? I'm not quite sure.
Yes.
Pin interest has earnings tonight. It's a 50-50. I'll probably wind up trading it regardless. AMD, the big daddy. There you go. That's flagging either way. So it's going to have
sure held 110, man. So 120 is going to be a big level. 120, 122. See if
Devon Energy. Another one. PXD, as I said before, behemoth.
Yeah, I think the oil's had its run.
SCDG,
anyway.
Elf Beauty Supply. They're finally, look at that one. So Humana, a lot of best of breed. Humana is a best. I don't care what anybody says. So AMD, Devon, this is the earning list that I post on Mondays and basically every day. And here is the economic calendar list that follows it. So Coach considers a landmine map. I consider a treasure. I've considered it the gold rush. So either way, we're going to give you an opinion regardless. So I'll leave it at there, Coach.
Okay, Yukon Jack. Thanks very much.
I've been told to sell the shovels.
And you know what? It was very cool hearing the stuff about the horses and the analogies to what we do. So thanks for sharing it, man.
Well, I appreciate that, Coach. Believe me, it's innate at this point because I grew up and it's in the blood. And here we go. Just keep an eye. I'll be posting White House curfew, not a very specific threat. Troops to Poland. I will leave it at this. I know
we have that.
Follow my Twitter feed.
That pot on the stove too.
Yeah. Follow my Twitter feed. Follow who I follow. You can always add, delete, do what you want to do. Go from there. But I'm going to tell you, probably, this is one of the things I'm most proud of. I don't know if I'm being dramatic, but I have a hell of a Twitter feed to go to. So please go from there and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, you've done all the work. So all you lazy people, come and grab Mike's list. I know there's millions of you out there. So anyway, Mike, thanks very much. And I'll see you in the